We begin with a correction. Contrary to what you have heard, Derek Jeter is not the greatest person in human history. He did not invent baseball. He did not discover electricity. He is not the greatest shortstop who ever lived. And among all the terrific players in the history of the New York Yankees, he is not by any measure number one. In my words, for me, he's number one. Ruth, Gehrig, DiMaggio, Mantle, Munson, Nettles, Randolph, Messina, Ruffing, heaven forbid, A-Rod? No, Jeter. Because, as Jorge Posada has just explained to us mortals, Posada saw Jeter play, which is the crux of the disconnect here. Objects in the side view mirror may actually be smaller than they appear. Derek Jeter has been in that mirror for 20 seasons, and to many fans, basically every sports fan under 30, he is the only object that has always been in that mirror. In fact, you have to be at least 41 or 42 years old to have a clear memory of the New York Yankees winning the World Series without Derek Jeter. Hence this endless victory lap, this coronation, this succession of parting gift baskets, this force-fed adulation of a player, an excellent, long-serving player, but nowhere near an immortal, ludicrously capped by 3 separate last days. First, ceremonies at Yankee Stadium on September 7th, designed to give his team the opportunity to sell otherwise meaningless tickets, plus a special set of Jeter tchotchkes. The second ceremony was yesterday at a luncheon/infomercial, cheapest VIP package $2,000, at which Jeter gently pushed even higher priced memorabilia while mocking the memorabilia industry. For the third farewell at Thursday's actual last Yankee Stadium game, for all we know, Jeter will sprout wings and be taken up to Mount Olympus to play shortstop in the big league in the sky. Which brings up another correction. He's not dead yet. Maybe we could have skipped the patch on the shirt and the cap. It's creepier than hell. By now, especially if you are in that 41 and under demographic, you may feel the blood rising in your face. Television man has disparaged the Jeter. But before you get out your pitchforks and light your torches, let me ask you a couple of questions. How many times did Derek Jeter lead the American League in any offensive production category? The answer is 3. Twice in hits, once in runs scored, no batting championships, no stolen base titles, no leading the league in doubles. Well, how many times did Jeter lead the Yankees in one of the major offensive production categories? We'll give you the big 8. Doubles, homers, RBI, stolen bases, batting average, on base, slugging, OPS. 17 times. Over 19 seasons, 152 guys led the Yankees in those 8 categories. It was Jeter only 17 times. How many MVP awards did he win? None. Came close in 2006. I thought he should have gotten it. Twice he was a distant third. Other than that, never better than 6th. Of these 6 more or less contemporary players, who has the lowest career WAR? Adrian Beltre, Derek Jeter, Chipper Jones, Albert Pujols, Jim Thome, Larry Walker. Right? Jeter 72.1. Scott Rowland finished at 70. I don't remember them giving Scott Rowland a year-long parade. Those 10 great Yankees I mentioned, Ruth, Gehrig, DiMaggio, Mantle, Munson, Nettles, Randolph, Messina, Ruffing, A-Rod, where does Jeter rank among them for best WAR per season with the Yankees? Oops, he's 11th. He's 11th out of 10. He's behind Red Ruffing. You don't know who Red Ruffing was, do you? Pitcher who also pinch hit, ERA plus of 119 during the slugging 1930s, completed 261 starts through 40 shutouts, 8 times in the top 10 in fielding independent pitching, started 10 games in the World Series, Yankees won 7 of them. He didn't get a farewell tour either. But back to Jeter, what about the extraordinary length of his career? That has to mean something, right? Jeter's only the 19th guy ever to come to the plate 12,000 times or more. That's longevity. And where does he rank among that special peer group? 13th out of those 19 in slugging, 14th out of 19 in OPS, 12th out of 19 in homers, tied for 13th out of the 19 in triples, 14th out of 19 in doubles, tied for 14th in RBI. Does he lead this group in anything? Yes. Out of all 19, he struck out the most. Anything on defense we can hold on to? Not really, no. Defensive wins above replacement? He has defensive losses below replacement. 17 seasons in negative numbers, a total career defensive WAR of minus 9.4. That's the worst of all shortstops since 1900. A dozen years now since they started tracking defensive runs saved. He's 156 in the hole, twice as bad as any other shortstop just in that span. What about all those World Series wins? You mean the 4 in his first 5 full years? which means that if you believe he led the Yankees to those wins and it wasn't Paul O'Neill or Tino Martinez or Bernie Williams or maybe the whole team, in the last 14 years of his career, Jeter led the Yankees to one World Series win. He's 1 for 14. Do we need to talk about this season? 54 points below his career batting average, 73 below his career on-base percentage, 127 below his career slugging percentage, and he's still batting second? Even with that splurge over the weekend, a slash line of 211, 246, 283 since August 1st. As Buster Olney calculated, that's the 8th worst OPS by a Yankee with 600 plate appearances since they got Babe Ruth. And at no point has he gone in to the manager and said, I'm hurting this team, take me out, or at least drop me in the order. It can be argued that if he had benched himself or batted 8th or 9th, the Yankees might actually be in the wild card race and not just mathematically barely alive. Gehrig took himself out of the lineup when he got sick. DiMaggio and Mantle both quit rather than stink at 36. This is the captain of the Yankees? All right, Jeter's the king of New York. I forgot. That must be reality and not hype. If it wasn't true, they wouldn't print it on his shoes. Which raises a final question. Why is the supposed Mr. Yankee not retiring immediately after his final game in New York? Why isn't he doing a Ted Williams and quitting after his final home game? Williams played his last Major League game at Fenway Park and then went home. Funny. Derek Jeter will play his last game at Fenway Park too, making a mint and making his ultimate moment of history on behalf of the Red Sox. You want to show me something, Derek Jeter? Retire after Thursday's game. Yeah, Jeets.